Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Spirit Journey. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2015. And I'm actually doing this video. Um, I think that I did a video last November, and the video is entitled Honesty. And then I have three individuals' names, three um, people of the Black community. And the name of the individual that my video had caused a lot of negative responses was a man by the name of Lenon. And Lenon, he, I was new. I'm sorry, with my dog. He wants to play. Come here. He was. I was new to his channel, and behave yourself. He. I was new to his channel, and he has a lot of really nice work. He has. I was interested in his spirituality videos. He has different channels, like some of his videos is about, if you have children, your family units. But I primarily listen to the channel regarding things of a spiritual nature. Come on, let's behave. Regarding regarding spiritual matters. So I didn't see every one of his videos, but I saw a lot of his videos as it pertains to spirituality, and I was really excited about his channel because I felt in my heart that he was a man that is trying to do something positive for the Black community and anyone who wants something, some good energy, if I could word it like that. And he had a book, and I even purchased it. I subscribed to his channel, and I bought one of his books. I was very excited about him, but I became upset and disillusioned when in one of his videos he mentioned that he wasn't actually married and that he's not legally married. And I was taken by surprise because on many of the videos that I watched of him, he mentioned that he was a happily married man with 5 children. And the persona that I took of it was, like the Leave It to Beaver type of thing, for those out there who are old school like myself, And so it was an image, an illusion, a picture in my mind of what he wanted to project to the audience. Any of us who put a video out there, there are things that we are projecting, whether consciously or subconsciously. It's an image, something that you want to leave behind for the viewer. And so since I'm from the old school, and if someone says that they're married, it's understood. Oh, okay. And I have no problem with that. And I have no problem of people who have alternative lifestyles. That's their business. My issue my issue at the time was based on a number of factors, and I take people by their word. I'm also a military, and we use specific words to mean specific things. That was another issue. So I would not have had an issue if, let's say, you said, I'm happily in a common law relationship, blah, blah, blah. No problem. At the time, when the video that I did that had gotten a lot of negative comments was done in November of last year, and now it's, like I said, May. I don't have this as an intense um, attitude of the video that I had put out. But I just felt that because I'm still getting responses from that video, and I respond to all the comments that I get, but I feel that maybe not everybody reads, but people like to watch things and watch videos. So that's also why I'm doing a video. And again, how I feel now in my my spiritual walk that I'm doing, a lot of things have been revealed to me. My insight is a little different. And so what I was then in November is not the same as I am now, But because I feel it necessary to explain my video that I did in November, that's why I'm doing this video. And again, everybody's spiritual walk is a personal walk, and it's for them to navigate. And again, my video that I did in November was not intended to be a character assassination on an individual. It wasn't a video based on jealousy, malice at heart for anything of that sort. My reason of doing the video was one of I was surprised, and one of informing the YouTube viewers on what I experienced. And I was also very much, back then, very much into protecting the interests of the black family, and in particular the black woman. And this was all based on my experiences as a woman that has lived in many different territories. I was in the military overseas, and I have experience of being even in a shelter system and met other women and listened to their stories. So it wasn't, my video was all based on all that information, all those life experiences. And so I'd like to begin with where I was coming from in my video that I did last November as it pertains to Lenon honor in specific. Okay? I felt, I have some notes down here, so if you see me look down, that's what's going on. I'm reading some notes just to keep my thoughts focused. Okay? My response to Lenon honor not being legally married, and he has 5 children through that union, I felt at the time that it is a practice that I think is dangerous for women to pattern, that it leaves the woman vulnerable. And I base those things on certain things that I've experienced. Okay. Well, the first thing that I remember in one of Lenon Honor's videos, he had said one time that he's very protective over his daughters. I think he has 2 daughters. They look adorable. And if those were my little girls, I would be just as protective, maybe even more so. They look and seem so sweet. And as a female, as a little girl, you're very protective. And why would Lenon Honor say that? Because he knows that women are particularly more vulnerable because of the simple biological fact that women could get pregnant. Women could be abandoned. So many women that that I came across, they get pregnant and the man is out the picture. It might have been someone that said, "Oh, I love you," and this and that. But love is short-sighted if you don't have the maturity behind it. It doesn't mean that every man is like that. Not at all. There are some very honorable individuals out there. But because we all know, and we all know someone that, you know, maybe the man wasn't as honorable and left her, you know, or didn't support her and the child, you know. We see those shows on daytime talk shows of, you know, paternity tests, things like that, all that drama. And I want to protect women's interests to not even fall into that trap. You know, don't start a family, you know, with someone that you're not married to, with no commitment. And some people might argue, oh, well, a marriage license does not guarantee, uh, you know, loyalty, whatever. But it just shows something. It shows that your willingness for some type of commitment, you know, even on paper. And the man knows in the back of his mind, because it's on paper, you know, there's responsibilities. And some men, or maybe even women, men that want that responsibility, that paper over their head, because it takes on accountability. And many people might want to be in a physical relationship, but they don't want accountability. Okay? And again, marriage really is designed to protect the woman's property, whatever what she owns. It's really designed to protect her. Okay? So if I had a little girl like he does, Mr. Honor, I'd be very protective. And I said he doesn't want to expose his children, and in particular his daughters, to things that are out there on the internet that might harm them. But I would go even a step further. I wouldn't want to expose them into lifestyles that people might exploit upon their daughters. And that includes a physical union with a man, and you're not in a contracted agreement. I hate to word it like that. It sounds so plastic. But you know what I'm getting at. And I wonder, would he want, let's say his daughters, when they grow up, and they say, Mommy, Daddy, I want to be just like you. I want to, you know, live with a guy and have a whole bunch of kids with him. I wonder how he would feel. And I would imagine as a father, you want to know that the man that she's with is a man of substance and someone that will stay. I know I would be afraid. Okay? His daughters look so sweet. I wouldn't want anything to happen to them. Okay? As a woman, as a human being, you know what's out there. And you know that there are predators out there that want to take advantage. So that, my seeing that video when he's discussing that with about his children and his daughters in particular, also made me respond the way I did in my November video. So I was surprised when I found out he said that he was not actually married. So I was just surprised, okay? I also indicate that another reason why it's dangerous for women to be in this type of relationship, remember a couple, it's actually over a year ago, it happened last year in April. There's a man by the name of Donald Sterling. He was the former owner of the L.A. Clippers. That's a basketball team, okay? Mr. Donald Sterling is a legally married man. He's in his early 80s, and he's not physically living with his wife. They live in separate arrangements, but they're legally married. They live in California, and the husband was having what we call extramarital affairs. Okay, the woman in particular, Vista Viano, she says she's an employee of his, and of Mr. Donald Sterling, but she receives gifts from him. But he, on the other side, has said in a news interview that they had some type of physical relationship, and watching on live TV, and so he has, you can't say certain things, but you know what he's getting at, you know. He's trying to be very tactful at certain times, and other times he put his foot in his mouth, and that's what really hung him. But either way, getting back on the track with Donald Sterling. Well, Donald Sterling is legally married, and his wife, his legal wife, found out about him giving this woman called Vista Viano property. The house was worth over $1 million, and he also purchased for her several, not just one. It could have been four to three high-end vehicles and other stuff. Okay. Now, in the law in California, that when you're legally married, I think they call it community property, something like that. It's property that it's considered belonging to all of them in that marriage union, and that you cannot give away anything without both parties' consent. And because it wasn't the legal wife's consent for him to give this other woman all these gifts, she was able to take legal action. And I found out last month or earlier this month that the court ruled in her favor. She got virtually everything she asked for. She didn't get 100%. She got the mother lode. She got like 95% of what she asked for. She has to return the home, return the cars. That's the meat of it. Okay? And so Vistiviano, by law, has to give those items back. Okay? So where does this stand for, relate to Lenon Honor and his girlfriend? Well, anything could happen to him, and this is going to leave his common law wife in a vulnerability, So if something happens in a relationship, who owns what? Okay? So the law may not, again, I don't know what state they live in, and I'm not a lawyer, okay? Not a lawyer. But how the law was able to work on Donald Sterling's wife, how, it may not apply for Lenon Honor's common law wife. So let's say something happens and he's giving things away to somebody, a third party. She doesn't know about it, then she finds out, and she may not have a legal stand on. Okay, so that's another thing to consider. Why I think it's not the best situation for women. Okay, the other thing is that I used to have this friend. She was a young woman in her mid-20s, and she wasn't on good terms with her immediate family. Her father was in prison, and she had sisters and a mom. She's distanced herself from them. Very, very problematic family. But she was living with her auntie, okay? And she was hit by a car and died. Guess what happens? Here, this young girl was not on good terms with her immediate family, and here she's living with her auntie and cousins. Because they're not next of kin, that here the people that she doesn't even like, people in her immediate family, were able to claim the body and have a lawsuit against the driver and win money off of them. Their family was all about, unfortunately, it was about money. They were people of questionable background. And she was distancing herself from that. And she was really trying to keep her life full. She was a really wonderful person. And but that's what was happening. They were fighting over the body. Who can control it? Because they wanted money over her, the immediate family. And even though the aunt was taking care of her, she didn't have a leg to stand on. Okay? So again, how this relates to the honor family is that if something happens to either party, the next of kin can claim their property, their belongings. And they can say, well, it's not yours. It's mine. We're next of kin. She said, well, I'm lived with him as a X, Y, and Z, you know. We live as husband and wife. But the law always trumps a situation, you know. So you have to be smart about these things because you're dealing with little children. What adults do, that's their business. But when you're dealing with little children, their lives are at stake because of adult behavior. Okay? And so I thought that was, you know, could be problematic in a situation. And the next thing, well, I'm thinking about this woman that I know that she's not a blood relative, but her folks and you know my parents knew this family. They go way back. When my parents first got married, that they met them. You know, they lived in the same housing, and they had kids around the same time. And so you know, you have mothers with kids. You talk and invite each other to the home. They were considered like cousins, and I addressed them as my aunt and uncle and my cousins. Okay, even though they're not my blood relatives. And they were invited to one of my siblings' wedding. Okay. Now I don't know whether she's actually visited saw the actual wedding, but the reception I meant to say, if I didn't say that word. She came to the reception hall, and it's a black wedding, black reception, all black people, okay? And this girl lives in a nice home, in a black community, nice big house. She comes to my sibling's reception, you know? She walks in, looks around, and walks out. She later shared that she couldn't believe that a black woman could have a wedding, that it could be their wedding. It must be of the wrong place. She must have been in the wrong reception hall because black people don't have nice weddings. She walked out and missed out on a nice piece of cake. Could you believe that? So I thought this was really shocking. Okay, so all this is going on in the back of my mind when I did my video in November. So here you have a young black woman. She was in her 20s back then, and she didn't feel that she was worthy of even the possibility of having a wedding and a reception hall because of her so-called race. A lot of black women don't feel valued. And so they settle for just having living arrangements, or he comes over when he feels like coming over. Okay, you have all these kids, because that's how you feel about yourself, that you're not worthy of something special. And so when I did my video, that's what the sentiment was, that I was against. We are valuable, and we should value ourselves and want the best for us. and including that you're worthy of a commitment. Okay? Yes, some of you have mentioned on my, my video that, oh, that's the white man's rules, and, it's not it's from the conscious community and things like that. Okay, you could feel that way, sure, but be smart about it. That it is a special thing for women in particular to have a marriage, to have a formal event that your loved ones, your family, your friends, to be there, seeing a special occasion for you. So I could see, okay, in the community, the black community in particular, that okay, you don't want to go through the legal paper system of the courts, but at least have, let's say you have someone in the community that you respect and honor, an older person, and that they oversee it and they give you your blessings and things like that, and you have a gathering of your loved ones and friends. And so it's a public event that everybody knows that's your man and that's your woman. I'm all for that. I could understand you don't want to go through the system and all that. I understand that, and that was not my issue. But make it an event, a special, sacred event, special for her. And the, Mr. Arner's, the woman that he's living with, she had also said that in one of her videos, I saw again very few videos with her actually on it, but I remember one in particular that I saw with her on it. She made mention about how she was in so many bad relationships with men, and they did this and that to her. And so when I found out that she wasn't married, my heart was broken for her. I said, oh, wow. I felt like, oh, brother, what did she do? So that's what was why I also responded to that. So I'm thinking that, hey, is she okay? What's going on here? You allowed that to happen to your past, but yet you didn't put your foot down and say, hey, I want this special union. But if she might have chose this. That is true. One of my viewers commented, hey, she might have wanted this type of setup. And that's true too. But it was where my mindset was, because I saw that video with her, not knowing about their marriage, the actual marriage status. Okay? So I'm basing my feelings on what she said, what he said, and again my past experiences. Okay? So that was the other issue. That also, a lot of people, in the United States, if you look at the shelter system, you know who dominates the shelter system? Black women. Black people in particular. Not Hispanics, not white people, but yes, they could be in there too. But overwhelmingly. Okay? I unfortunately had that experience to be in a shelter system. Okay? And it's not nice. It's not a nice place. And so I had that over my head when I did my videos last November. And here, knowing that, and if it could happen in the honors relationship, something can happen to her. Something can happen to him. She's destitute. She might have to go in a shelter system. Why is it that it's a disparity in the amount of people, what type of people are in this shelter system? Why is it overwhelmingly black? One thing in the black community is that community. It's a lack of cohesiveness in the black community. It's not really a community. If one of us falls, We should have a system in our community to help each other. But it doesn't exist. You have other communities, they rely on relatives, other systems, or their place of worship might help out. There's no reason why it should be like this, that overwhelmingly the black people in these shelter system with their kids, nothing, abandoned. The guy might be in prison. They're left with nothing. So my being aware of that reality also colored my feelings when I was doing my video. Anything can happen to her, okay? And again, something happens to him, his relatives could possibly take custody, could take their property, and where's she left with, okay? Another black statistic. And that's what I wanted to avoid. So I was addressing that issue. That's what was on my heart. I don't want that to happen to us. Okay? Let's see here. Okay. Another individual, to back up why I was responding the way I did in my November video, was that you all heard of James Brown. Okay, he passed away a couple of years ago. He was in a relationship at the time of his death. Okay, he was married slash. It was hazy about the actual legal status. There was some type of ceremony, but she was married before, and her divorce may not have gone through. It was just very messy. Whatever what it was messy. And she even had a kid with him. They had a very young child at the time of Mr. Brown's passing away. And she so happened to be out of town when he passes. And whatever what the case was, whether she was actually abandoning him when he was sick, and then she finds out that he passed away, she tried to get access to the home. However, his biological children from a prior relationship, he had adult children, and they put the gate up. They locked the house to prevent her from coming in. Okay? She doesn't get an inheritance, and that I was surprised. At least that's what they announced on the news. She will not be getting an inheritance. But even though she has a child by him, they said that some monies were given to her and then she left. So who knows? But either way, that if she were the legal wife, should be that's her home, that's her property, But because it was problematic of her legal status in marriage-wise, they were able to lock her out of the house. She didn't do the funeral. His kids from the older, prior relationships that he had, his adult children, they did the funeral and stuff, and she wasn't there. Okay, so I wouldn't want that to happen to Mr. Arner's, woman that he's living with. I wouldn't want something like that when she gets barred out. Okay, so that was another issue, and so that's on the back of my mind. Okay, how to say this? I felt like initially when I put up the video, I was having a lot of a lot of dislikes on the video, and I was actually going to pull it down because of the negative response I got from it. But I see now I have more likes, and so maybe initially it might have been not received as well, but I see that there are people out there who do think and are concerned about the community's status, you know, as a whole. And so I'm getting the thumbs up. I'm going to leave the website up. And again, my putting out the video is not to be an attack on him as a person. It's about, you know, terms. So if you're going to use a term of communication, you know, use the correct terms. And again, it's not about throwing the baby with the bathwater. It's not about that. And anybody who has a lifestyle preference, that's between you and your partner, and that's to be sacred. But I'm just explaining myself why I express the things that I expressed on the video. I want the best for all the viewers out there, including the Honor family, and I want the best for him, the woman that he's living with, and all their children. Okay, so it's not an attack on him personally. Again, it's his life and his the woman of his life's business, what they do. But as a viewer, and I was someone that supported this channel by subscribing and buying the things that he was selling. So I felt that I had a right to speak and to be specific what I was concerned about. Okay, my video was specific on a specific issue, and I explained in that video and this one in more clarity what my concern was. My concern was not one of jealousy. It was one about concern about the safety of our community as a whole. But since that time since November, then my views are, my focus is not on the black community per se as a label. I'm learning that, you know, as a spirit being, we are what they call infinite consciousness, and it's, you know, I have here a picture of, you know, I'm going to show you. See that? Hope you could see it. This is a picture of our galaxy. Okay, I hope you saw it well. It's a picture of our galaxy, and I purchased that maybe 1 month ago, and so my sense of reality has expanded since November, and I'm seeing that we're just a little speck in relationship to our solar system, and a greater part, you know, and a even smaller part in relationship to the galaxy that we live in, the Milky Way galaxy. And then to find out that there are multitudes of galaxies. It's countless. There are countless galaxies out there. And so in November I was feeling so vulnerable about the so-called black community and about women's issues, that I see now that it's more than just that. We're something great. There's other realities out there. And so whether you're in a common law marriage or whatever, it really is insignificant. Okay? I want to go on higher heights of awareness and consciousness that go beyond, you know, marital status, you know. But all in all, we're to think and do what is going to be the best and safest, you know, lifestyle approach for all concerned. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to the viewers that did support me,
And those who don't agree with me, that's okay too. I had liked Mr. Honor. I liked what I thought, what he was projecting. But again, he's also, just like everybody, a man on his spirit journey like mine. Okay? And we just go about things in a different way. But all peace and honor to Mr. Honor and his family, and the YouTube viewers who love Mr. Honor as well. Okay? So, you're open to comment on this video. Please feel free to subscribe, to share, and to like, give me the thumbs up. So peace and joy on your spirit journey too. Bye-bye.